So, bonk, 6200 damage. So, bonk, 6200 damage. So, bonk, over 15,500 damage in one hit. Yes, this build is insane in Elden Ring. So, welcome back to Elden Ring. In this video, we are taking a look at my super mega double bonk build. If you want to call it that. I mean, I can't think of anything else besides a bonk build. It's going to focus on strength. You will need a lot of strength to put this build together. I have even had to use my Great Rune because it requires so much. By the way, I'm using the Godric one, so I've got a +5 on all of my stats. And I constantly see people in the comments saying, you're running an arcane build, why is your faith so high? The reason my stats are so high is because I'm trying to get them all to like the middle soft cap. I'm trying to get them all around 50, 55, whatever the soft cap falls to, in the middle sort of range, so that I just have complete variety with the builds I can put together. And it's now got to the stage where each level is costing me about 400,000 runes. So it's taken a little while, and I'm not actually spending that much time farming. I am spending a lot of time checking out other weapons and just putting completely random builds together and seeing what I can come up with. So just quickly, before we get into this build, if you are not currently subbed to the channel, make sure you do sub, turn notifications on. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, all support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to support me further as a creator, then check out the links in the description. And let's get into my super mega double bonk build. So the very first weapon is the Giant Crusher. And yeah, this one scales at an S tier for strength, but it does require 60 strength to actually be able to use this. You can obviously two-hand it and use it with less strength, but there is absolutely no point. You are going to want to dual-wield hammers in this build, and they need to be colossal weapons. The second hammer we are using, because you can dual-wield Giant Crushers, but that will require going through to New Game Plus. That's still something I haven't done, and the prelate's inferno crozier works just as well. This one does only scale with strength at a B tier. It's also got some dexterity in there. It scales B tier on dex as well. And this one requires 45 strength, and it also requires 8 dex. Now I am using the claw mark seal, however because of the incantations we are running, it doesn't matter which one you use. I just thought I'd chuck this one into the build because it scales off strength. Your armor in this build is completely optional, besides the raptor's black feathers, because you are going to be jumping into the air and attacking so that you can get the airtime bonks. And that's purely because they deal so much damage. In terms of the talismans, I am running Radagon Soreseal, a little bit of a risky one, but it does give us an extra 5 strength. I'm then also running the Star Scourge Heirloom, so I get another 5 strength, but this time there's no downfall. Then, to further strengthen my jump attacks, I've got the Claw Talisman, which will stack with the Raptor's Black Feathers, so you're getting a lot of extra damage from your jump attacks. And then I do have the Ritual Sword Talisman, because it raises your attack power when your HP is full. Now obviously the weapons in any build are important because that's what's going to deal your damage. However, the next important thing, or the next most important thing, is the Winged Crystal Tear in the Flask of Wondrous Physic. I am running Strength, not Crystal Tear, so my strength will go up to 70 when I do drink my flask. But the Winged Crystal Tear, if I show you quickly, because you'll see, my equip load at the moment is 75.7 out of 77.6. So I am at a heavy load. You do not want that in this game, no matter what build you are running. If we take a look at the weight of the Giant Crusher, it's 26.5. In terms of the Prelate's Inferno Crozier, it's 23.5. So these together make a 50 weight. So the reason the Winged Crystal Tear is so important is because it's going to temporarily reduce your equip load. In other words, what it does is it actually increases your maximum equip load. So if we take a look, my max is 77.6. Anything over that and it becomes overloaded, you cannot even sprint. So if I use my flask and then go back into the menu, from 77.6, yeah, it's gone up to 349.4. It's about a 350% increase on your equip load. And both the Strength Not Crystal tier and the Winged Crystal tier will last for 3 entire minutes. So make sure you get your hands on those to run this build, because without the winged crystal tier, you are pretty much screwed. So what you want to do with this one is just run around with your dual wield hammers. You want to use your left bumper because it attacks with both hammers at the same time, because they both fall into the same weapon category. But what you want to do with these is not just run them standard, you want to equip, so you're going to need to duplicate it. You want to equip the Royal Knight's Resolve Ash of War. This is going to give the hammers an 80% damage increase for a single hit. So what I did was duplicated it, I've put it onto both weapons, so now what I can do is proc them both, and the attacks are going to be really, really powerful. However, to further boost this build, with the seal, we are going to run Flame Grant Me Strength because it gives us a bonus on our physical attack power, and we are also going to run Golden Vow because it increases the attack and defense for you and your allies. So this is about 10% defense, so it kind of, like, for the extra damage you take from Radagon Sword Seal, this kind of counters it a little bit. So you will need 25 faith on your build to run Golden Vow as well. But I mean, when you're looking at the Giant Crusher, 25 faith is absolutely nothing compared to 60 strength. And for those of you wondering why I haven't put things like the Jellyfish Shield or the Commander Standard into the build, is because the Jellyfish Shield, as soon as you put it away, that buff has gone, and the Commander Standard does not stack with Golden Vow. So what Golden Vow is going to do is grant you a 15% damage increase, but you're also going to get an extra 10% damage reduction. And bear in mind the Commander Standard is 20% for both your attack and defense. That 20% will only last for 30 seconds. This 15% will last for 90 seconds. But when you run Flame Grant Me Strength, this stacks multiplicatively with Golden Vow. This will only last for 30 seconds, but you are going to get a 20% physical and fire attack power. So using these together is way more beneficial for this build than running the Commander Standard. So when it comes to bosses in the game, if you proc absolutely everything, you are going to deal a hefty amount of damage. Half the health bar of a late game Erdtree avatar gone in one hit. And then you'll see, I'm going to say 2 hits later. I know I had to do the third, but the third was like no damage at all. And you'll see just how quick you can wipe out these enemies. As you would have seen, that thing had about 11,000 HP and it got deleted. Some enemies that don't have high resistance against physical attacks will take to this a lot better. And you would have seen against the giant at the start of the video, I dealt over 15,000 damage in one attack. So once you have the build together, the way I recommend you prep it is start off with your Flask of Wondrous Physic. Basically do it in a time order. So the flask lasts 3 minutes, proc that first. Then get out the seal and do Golden Vow because that's 90 seconds. Then do Flame Grant Me Strength because that's 30 seconds. And then when you are very, very close to an enemy, do Royal Knight's Resolve because it lasts maybe 10 seconds or something. It's a really, really short timer on it. But it's so important for that first hit because it's going to be an extra 80% damage. So what we have done is fast travelled back to the ancient Snow Valley ruins, and I will show you again, and watch, this time it won't be anywhere near as much damage. But what we're going to do is exactly what we did at the start of the video. We're going to proc everything and then attack that giant. So starting off with the flask, then get out the seal and use Golden Vow. Then switch that over and use Flame Grant Me Strength. Then get the weapon out, switch over to two-hand. Then when you're close to an enemy, proc Royal Knight's Resolve on both weapons. And this guy's a little bit irritating because we have to get that left foot. So there you go, 14,142 damage. And because everything is still procced, if I do Royal Knight's Resolve and he doesn't absolutely ruin me, then I can run back in for another double bonk. And with another 14,000 damage, 2 hits and he is dead. So that was 28,000 damage in 2 hits with the Super Mega Double Bonk build. And what we are going to do is leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about the build in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.